my God, everybody. Hey, Waylon, man. Waylon wanted me, the king of the brackets, he wants me to write my 32 favorite guitar players. This was hard to do. Now, here's the deal. This is how it's going to end up. They're not in order, except for like maybe, I would say the top 5 are my top 5 guitar players. But the other ones, they can be switched around. And also, oh my God, the amount of guitar players I love that didn't make my list is ridiculous. I had to scratch it off, put it aside. So these are my honorable mentions, which I think are longer than the actual 32. So I'll say this quick. I love these guitar players. I love Buckethead. I love going to see Buckethead. I love him more than Slash. I thought him and Guns N' Roses, he played Slash's solos perfect, and he threw in this killer shit. It's not just a shredder. Fucking Buckethead has a lot of feeling, you know? Steve Vai, just for the song alone, For the Love of God. Just for that alone, he makes my list. Jason Becker, who replaced him in Dave's band. Love him. I have one of the solo CDs and his Cacophony stuff, and especially the stuff on Dave's album, like Dropping a Bucket, It's Showtime. Amazing stuff. Bob Kulick. Bob Kulick, really for his work on Blackthorn. Though I do like his solo on, what's that song on Larger Than Life? I like his solo on that, but he's just trying to be Ace. Where Blackthorn, he's himself, and I really dig his playing on that album. Elliot Easton of the Cars. I know it's going to take long. Let me just fly by here. Elliot Easton of the Cars, another underrated. Michael Sweet, my favorite guitar player in Stryper, Not Against Oz. I think Michael Sweet's an amazing, very clean player. Dave Murray, my favorite guitar player in Iron Maiden. The solo in the song Killers puts him on my honorable mentions. Brad Gillis, amazing on Speak of the Devil and the first 2 Night Ranger albums with Jeff Watson, another amazing guitar player. Kerry Libgreen from Kansas. Andy Summers of the Police. Gary Richrath of REO Speedwagon. Pete Townsend, who's not known for the great shredding or whatever. Those power chords, he's one of my favorites. Sean Lane. Now, I know some of you may not, I know a lot of you may not know Sean Lane. Sean Lane, to me, is technically the greatest guitar player that ever lived. Look him up on YouTube. In my opinion, nobody played guitar better than Sean Lane. But he makes my honorable mentions because, he doesn't write songs that move me, but I'm just saying. Sean Lane's amazing. Rick Emmett, Triumph, as well as Alex Lifeson, Rush. Scott Ian for the riff on the March of the SOD, heaviest riff known to man. Ross the Boss, original Manowar guitar player. Neil Sean of Journey. Jeff Waters of Annihilator. Al Di Meola. Gary Rossington. Alan Collins. Steve Gaines from Skynyrd. Steve Smokin' Clark from Def Leppard. John Petrucci for his solo on what's the name of that song? Through Her Eyes or something like that. Amazing. And that's it. I know there's more, and I know I'm forgetting a bunch. And I also want to say, before I go into my 32 favorite guitar players, I hate the list people make for guitar players. I hate it because it's not me. So all of you watching me right now, I know you're going to hate what I say. But believe me, you make your own list and I'll hate it too. All right, here we go. At number, all the way at the bottom, and very praised, and I think he's awesome, but sometimes he's live, sometimes he's great, and sometimes he's horrible. George Lynch has to make my list, though, for what he did on the song Tooth and Nail and Paris is Burning. Guy rips. Number 31, Tracy Guns. I know I did a story on Tracy Guns saying he didn't like Eric Clapton. The amount of comments are like, yeah, right, you're fucking Tracy Guns, though. You're a joke, whatever. Hey, man, I'll take that joke over Eric Clapton any day. I love his guitar playing on that first LA Guns. Fucking awesome. And number 30, Pete Willis of Def Leppard, man. I know I put Steve as honorable mention, but look, man, I know Steve did a bulk of solos and he's awesome, but man, I was right in front of Pete Willis on the High and Dry tour when they opened for Ozzy on the Blizzard of Oz tour. I was right in front of Pete Willis and Randy Rhoads all night. And I saw what Pete Willis can do. And that's why he's on my list. All right, at 29, Warren D. Martini, who wrote one of the greatest riffs known to man, Lay It Down. But man, what clean, amazing guitar playing Warren D. Martini does. All right, number 28, Chris Poland from Megadeth. Fucking amazing. Amazing. You know, yeah. The greatest thrash guitarist, the greatest guitarist, well, no, the second greatest. I got the greatest coming up. But Poland's amazing. Number 27, Buck Dharma, Blue Oyster Cult. I love me some Buck Dharma, man. He rips. 26, should be higher, Michael Schenker. And, you know, I'm a huge fan, dude. Michael Schenker has always been on my bucket list, and the one time I did see him, I had to drive like 5 hours to see him. It was worth it, but still, I'm a big fan of Michael Schenker, even though he's 26. At 25, who replaced Michael Schenker in the Scorpions? Uli Roth, man. Uli Roth rules. What a clean, killer player, and an amazing person. Meeting him, couldn't have been nicer. Uli Roth, man, number 25. Number 24, Dave Meniketti of Y&T. Man, that guy is such a clean, but yet forceful player. I love that guy's guitar playing. It's like crazy, man. All right, number 23. Look, this guy should be higher, but all these should be higher. I'm not saying these are in order. I'm just telling you up to number 5, these are my favorites. Where were we again? Oh yeah, at 23, it could be number 6, Brian May of Queen. Brian May, dude, you hear that? You hear that playing, you know it's Brian May. What a unique sound and amazing playing he does. At 22, Ted Nugent for fucking Stranglehold alone. Alone for that one. But nah. You know, throw in Hibernation and Death by Misadventure and Live It Up, Homebound, Hammer Down. You know what I'm saying. Dog Eat Dog, Ted Nugent rules. All right, next at 21, Jakey Lee, man. What a great discography. Well, yeah, Red Dragon's okay. But man, I love Bark at the Moon. I loved the two Badlands album. I really don't care much for Dusk, but Jakey Lee's amazing. 21. And number 20, as you saw in the honorable mentions, even though they should be on the list as well, is all the Leonard Skinner guitar players. But I didn't add Ed King. I put Ed King in the list, man, at number 20. What an amazing, amazing guitar player. Love Ed King. All right, 19, my favorite thrash player. God, it's almost like it's a tie with the guy from Annihilator, Jeff Waters, but Bobby Gustafson, man, from Overkill. That guy, the first 4 Overkill albums, the best Overkill albums in my world. I don't think they've ever done an album as good as Everything Up to Years of Decay, in my opinion. What's that you say? Horoscope? Horoscope these nuts. These first 4 Overkill albums, especially Years of Decay, puts Bobby Gustafson all the way up at number 19. Bobby rules. Number 18, Angus Young, man. Fucking Chuck Berry on steroids. Forget it, man. The guy's playing his unbelievable heaviness, and then you listen to stuff like Ride On. Man, that's a lot of emotion on that shit. Angus rules. He doesn't show that off much, but he's got it. All right. At number 16, Vivian Campbell. Love Vivian Campbell, man. The stuff he does on the first two Dio albums and the first Last in Line album, dude rips. Vivian Campbell at number 16. At number 15. At number 16, Glenn Tipton from Judas Priest. Clean, technical, awesome. And then KK Downing at 15. I like KK a little bit more, even though Glenn Tipton is technically, a better player. I like the feel that KK does more. So yeah, KK at number 15, yeah. And number 14, Dimebag, man. Dimebag, pure precision. Zach didn't make my list just cause. But I saw Pantera with Zach Wild. Zach just couldn't pull it off, man. He couldn't do it. There's only one dime. But funny enough, after I saw Zach Wild with Dime, I'm going back home thinking to myself, God, can anybody play like Dime? And I searched online on YouTube to see people doing Dime shit. Yeah, man, none except for one. One really impressed me and really had the Dime vibe, and it was a girl. No guys can do it except for Dime and one girl. Anyway, Dimebag at number 14. At number 13, Akiri Takasaki from Loudness. My God, the tone. Probably my favorite tone on any guitar player. Listen to Thunder in the East, Devil Soldier. The guy's a beast. A beast. That's why he's all the way up at number 13. At number 12, John Sykes, man. John Sykes. What he does with Tigers of Pang Tang, Thunder and Lightning, Blue Murder. Yeah, White Snake too. White Snake will be my least favorite thing he's done. But I love John Sykes, man. That's why he's all the way up at number 12. At number 11, Chris Oliva. Probably the most underrated out of all these guitar players I just mentioned. Chris Oliva, man. Wow. I got to see his very last show. It was I'll never forget, it was on a Friday. On a Sunday, my friend called me. Chris Oliva was killed in a car crash. I was like, oh my God. So I saw his very last show. I even spoke to him that night for a little bit. Amazing, and he is missed. I've met him like 2-3 times before that too. God bless Chris Oliva. Rest in peace. All right, now we're at the top 10. Frank Marino, man. He recorded, in my opinion, the greatest guitar solo ever caught on tape on a song called Ain't Dead Yet. And he doesn't do one. He does several solos on that song, and they all severely kick my ass. Yeah, Frank Marino, man, at number 10. At number 9, Jimmy Page. Yeah, sloppy these nuts. I don't care. Man, listen to what he did on those records, though, man. The Rover. And, I gotta say, the Rain song. The Rain song alone puts him on the list. Puts him in my top 10. The structure, the writing of the guitar parts on Rain song, second to none. Jimmy Page is a freaking genius and an amazing producer as well. At number 9, Jimmy Page. And number 8, I know a lot of people won't like this, but as I said, it could fluctuate. I could put Jimmy Page above Yngwie Malmsteen in the future, but today, Yngwie. I think Yngwie's amazing. A lot of people bash on the guy. To me, man, that guy, they say like Hendrix and Eddie, but I think Yngwie should be in that group because Yngwie brought that neoclassical craze. It was what Blackmore was doing, but fucking sped up to 100. I love his work on that Alcatraz album. I love Marching Out. I love the first solo album, Trilogy, Fire and Ice, Eclipse. I love a lot of Yngwie stuff, and Yngwie deserves to be in my top 10. And oh man, I forgot to add Jimi Hendrix. See, I'm always going to miss people, man. And Jimi Hendrix definitely needs to be in my top 10. So whoever was at 11, okay, I'll push him down to, I'll push him down to, who's ever in my top 10, what I said was my number 10, is now down at number 11. Let me see who it was. It was Frank Marino. Frank Marino's number 11, then Jimi Hendrix, where Frank Marino got a lot of his playing off Hendrix. Hendrix is amazing. But you see, Hendrix, to me, he's perfectly rated as a guitar player. But I think he's incredibly underrated as a songwriter. Castles Full of Sand. I mean, just genius songwriting and lyrics. Hendrix rules, and all right, it's at my number 10. All right, number 7, Ace Frehley, man. It's not how good you play, it's what you write. And Ace Frehley wrote the most kick-ass, memorable solos, songs within songs. Ace Frehley was a master at that shit. Fucking unbelievable writing from Ace Frehley, man. Listen to Firehouse and, my God, Making Love. And, wow, I can go on. Parasite, Strange Ways, Rocket Ride, forget it. Shock Me, goddammit. Yeah, Ace Frehley at number 7. All right. At number 6, it's a tie. I'm going to do a tie here. And as I said, 5 up, that's my legitimate top 5. At number 6, Hank Sherman, Michael Denner, Merciful Fate. Those two, my God. The things those two came up with, yeah, I think they deserve to be at number 6, actually. They did the most amazing riffs and solos and intricate parts that just fit like a glove, like no band can do. I don't know of any bands that could cram that many riffs in a song and make it work like Merciful Fate did, which is Michael Denner and Hank Sherman at number 6. All right, my number 5, totally legitimate. Number 5, Tony Iommi. Yes, the master of the doom and the heaviness, but man, Laguna Sunrise, Fluff, Scarlet Pimpernel. The guys played some gorgeous stuff. You know, like Nightwing. I mean, he's extremely heavy and also can play extremely beautiful. That's why he's in my top 5. All right, at number 4, Richie Blackmore, man. Again, this is a guy that can shred. One of the first I've ever seen. I've seen footage of Richie Blackmore in 1969 doing sweeps on the guitar. I can't think of anybody doing those sweeps back then. Just amazing player, emotion like you can't believe, man. I'm telling you, man. The last, I can't pronounce it. It's the last song on side 1 of Difficult to Cure, little instrumental, fucking gorgeous. And then the silly song, Anyone's Daughter from Fireball. I love Richie's playing on it. It's so emotional and beautiful. And then, you got your Highway Star and fucking Child in Time and, the ripping Richie Blackmore. So, yeah, there we go. Richie, and the riff to Burn. Greatest Deep Purple song, in my opinion. At number 3, Gary Moore. He's at my number 3, man. That's all I can say. The power that guy possessed on the guitar. The ripping that guy could do. And like Blackmore, the emotional part of Gary Moore was just unfucking believable. Unbelievable. Gary Moore, my number 2. My number 3. My number 2, Randy Rhoads, man. I got to witness Randy Rhoads like 3-4 feet away from me. I was front row looking at this guy play. And believe me, when I went to the show, yes, I heard Blizzard of Oz. I was aware of Randy Rhoads' playing on the album. I thought, oh man, it's great playing. Whatever. But when I saw it live, it changed my life. I walked out of there saying, my God, that guitar player for Ozzy was the most impressive shit I saw all night. And that night I saw Def Leppard High and Dry tour, you know? Unbelievable. Randy Rhoads. And then the work, I mean, yes, Mr. Crowley, Revelation, Mother Earth, Goodbye to Romance, all cool shit, but man, he stepped it up a lot on fucking Diary. From Over the Mountain to Diary of a Madman and everything in between. Just pure brilliance. And it's so sad that he was cut off, you know, because god damn, he was amazing. I heard an interview the other day with his mom, Dolores, you know, when she was alive, obviously. And she was saying that Randy had riffs already for the third album with Ozzy. He was going to do the third album and then leave, you know, for the classical shit. But she was talking about, because the guy asked her, you know, was Randy going to leave to do classical? And she said, well, he was going to do another album with Ozzy, and he even wrote some stuff for it. So I don't know where that stuff is, or if it was ever even recorded. I don't know. But all I know is Diary of a Madman's a masterpiece, and God bless Randy Rhoads. All right, that leaves me with my number one, my favorite guitar player ever since I first heard him in 1978. King Edward Van Halen. Greatest guitar player in my world. He can shred, he was inventive, little dreamer, you know, stuff he does, like just a little inventive, the beginning of Mean Street that Joe Satriani can't play, and so on, you know. It's just, the guy was, in my opinion, the greatest. With Dave, though, I gotta, you know, I did a track by track the other day, and I will say, When It's Love, that horrible song by Banjana, that's a good solo, you know, but otherwise, it was the stuff he did with Dave, you know, on those first 6 albums, and what he did with Dave on Different Kind of Truth. Makes Edward Van Halen my all-time favorite guitar player. Hey, who's your favorite players? Leave it in the comments below. I would love to know. And thank you, Waylon, man. I hope you enjoyed my 32, really like 52, favorite guitar players. And thank you again, man. And thank you, everybody, for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Ring that little notification bell. I would appreciate that. And like the video. It's good for the YouTube algorithms. And yeah, I didn't add Alex Kolnick. And smack 'em a gob. And stay frosty and listen to Black Sabbath.